sometimes you feel unworthy, or you struggle with believing that your destiny is still on, when that is the very moment you remind yourself and the devil, I've been declared righteous.
This is what's happening at The Rock. Grace and peace, Freedom Family. These are your announcements. It's that time to sign your child or children up for Camp Destiny's Summer Enrichment Program. The program will be held from June 7th until July 23rd. Cost is $85 per week for one child or $80 per week for two or more individually. Vouchers are accepted. Children will not only enjoy themselves on the many trips to offer, but will also learn math, language arts, and reading from certified teachers. COVID-19 protocols will be followed. Gina Robertson is the site coordinator, and for more information, contact the email address or number on your screen. Graduation Sunday is fast approaching. This is for the class of 2020 and 2021 at all graduate levels. Along with the presentation of the Ashley Joy Stringfellow Scholarship, Graduation Sunday will be held on Sunday, June 13th during regular service hours. Elder-elect Tommy Winston will be the speaker. If you have a birthday, an anniversary, or you simply want to give someone a shout out, email us at freedomrock@frcfc.org. These have been your announcements. We ask you to keep all announcements in mind and be reminded that Freedom Rock is a people and place that links freedom with destiny.
Father, we just want to say that we love you more than anything. Grace and peace to you. Hallelujah. Total adoration unto you. You reign on the throne, for you are God and God alone. Because of you, my cloudy days are gone. I can sing to you this song. I just want to say that I love you more than anything. And adore you. Just want to tell you, Lord, I love you more than anything. Come on, let me sing it. I love you, Jesus.
I love you, Jesus.
I worship you.
I worship and adore you.
I just want to tell you,
Just want to tell
Lord,
you,
I love you.
I love you more than
anything, yeah.
Hello, Freedom. I'm Larita Barr, the Nursing Guild Connection Leader here at Freedom. Today I have with me Ms. Roberts and Ms. Dubose, and we are here today to just talk to you guys about some COVID facts, about the COVID-19 virus, and hopefully to help to clear up some of the questions and concerns that we have been receiving from the body of Freedom. We do have a scripture for you guys, Proverbs 4:7. Wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom. And with all thy getting, get an understanding. So we are hoping that that is what we will get on today. There is no question, however, that COVID has been a very deadly disease for not only our region, but for our nation. And one of the topics that we'll talk about first is how COVID has affected our life or our work experience. Ms. Lysandra?
For me, COVID was, I guess for everyone, it was a very sad time watching a lot of my patients, my coworkers, my friends, even family members get sick, watching and experiencing the numbers of death that we did, not just my family, but also members of our church body. So from that aspect, it was just very, it was a very hard time.
Okay. Ms. Alicia?
For me, as Ms. Roberts has stated, it was a very sad time. Just seeing the numbers of the deaths of many people was just very devastating. Thankfully, COVID did not affect my home family, but my church family, it did. Job-wise, it did slow the patient load down, but I'm just thankful now that numbers are decreasing, so we're thankful.
Okay, and for me, thank God that we haven't had anyone in my close family to come down or contract COVID, but I was able to work on the COVID unit for a few months, and it was life-changing to see, like you guys have said, the number of deaths, which in the medical field you see death on a regular basis, but this was like a overturn, if you would say, like of death, or just how sick the patients were. It seemed to be a lot more severe in that sense. So
And I think something else that we saw was an increase in the amount of anxiety and depression that came out of it. People that were not directly affected still at some point was touched by COVID, in that you were either worried or you were angry because maybe it was your family member. And I'll never forget, I was in the grocery store one day and I literally had a panic attack simply because I didn't know it, but I was becoming overwhelmed with watching the news and the amount of deaths and just trying to figure out how to keep my own family safe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Moving on, we have one of the concerns have been how is COVID spread? At the beginning of the pandemic, it was a real big controversy of is it airborne, is it contact, is it droplet, can I breathe it in, it's just been a lot of different things. But once you understand what those terms actually mean, like diseases such as tuberculosis, that would be a disease that is considered airborne, to where if I was in a closed room with an active tuberculosis patient without a mask on and they were active, then I could actually contract the virus by breathing in the same air that they breathe. But we have come to realize that COVID-19 is not spread that way. COVID-19 is considered to be droplet or contact precautions, which means that from droplet, when you sneeze, particles go into the air. When you cough, particles may come out of your mouth into the air. Those particles therefore contain the virus, and can spread to other people that are within 6 feet distance or 4 feet distance from you. Let me see. It was also brought as a topic of, can the COVID-19 virus be spread by mosquitoes or ticks or things of that nature? And I will say there has been, which we know mosquitoes and ticks can carry certain diseases like West Nile virus, Lyme disease, but there has been no proven data so far that the coronavirus is spread that way. But of course, just like in anything, you take your precautions to wear your repellent, just as if you wear sunscreen to go sit out on the beach in the sun, just as safety precautions to keep in practice and to take. There has been, however, a study that domestic household pets, like such as cats or dogs that stay in the house with you, have shown certain symptoms of COVID-19, or that they could be carriers of COVID-19. Those have been slight cases, few as many cases, like a 10 to 20% case of that. But there is a lower chance that you could get COVID from a pet versus getting it from another human being. We'll go now to another question that was brought up by a member. What would be the most important or effective way to help keep the spread of COVID down?
Well, I would say hand washing is the most important and effective way to keep the virus down. Hand washing, running water, soap, lather your hands, rinse with the soap and water, dry good in between your hands, and just say soap and water is not available. Hand sanitizer. You want to use a hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% of alcohol. Now with the hand sanitizer, you still need to let your hands dry. Try not to fan them, but let them dry on their own. So running water, soap, hand washing is key. Hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol base is important.
One other topic that we would like to just discuss with you guys of how do vaccinations work. Everybody goes through having to get vaccinated, get their children vaccinated for school, for policies, for different things of that nature. You have to get booster shots on certain vaccines and all of that. So one of the most important things to remember is that vaccinations do not make you immune to a disease or keeps you from possibly ever coming in contact or getting a disease. The vaccinations are pretty much set in place as to boost your immune system towards a certain disease. It is usually, any vaccination is usually a dead virus, not a live virus, that they introduce just a small portion through the shot into your body to help waken your immune system to realize, ooh, something's there that isn't supposed to be there. And it builds up what we call antibodies against that disease. What those antibodies do is that they're stored in your body as like a memory system, to where if your body is actually ever in contact with any live virus of that sort at a later date, it quickens and awakens and say, I've seen that before, and it's able to attack it and to take control of it better, which in result helps to keep you not from actually getting a disease, but it helps to keep you from having a long-lasting or a more severe reaction to a disease. And one of the biggest misunderstandings or concepts that we've had to repeat has been the fact that even after you've been vaccinated with the COVID-19 vaccine, like, where do I go now? Where do I stand now? What do I do now? So we'll talk about things that you could still do, things to continue to do after that, Ms. Lysandra?
Well, a lot of people have been fully vaccinated. Of course, we need everyone to be vaccinated. Now the CDC has approved the vaccination for children, is it 16? Children 16 and older. And that's something that we definitely want to encourage everyone to do, is to make sure that you and your family are fully vaccinated. So what is fully vaccinated? For those that took Moderna or Pfizer, fully vaccinated is the 2-week time period after you've had your second dose. Of course, we know with Johnson & Johnson, it is 1 dose, so you are fully vaccinated after your single dose of Johnson & Johnson. Again, like Loretta stated, you being fully vaccinated does not eliminate you or prevent you from being able to contract COVID. Even people that have had COVID previously still run the risk of contracting COVID again. But currently, a lot of states have dropped the mask mandate, and the CDC has approved this. Now, this depends on your local government as well. And we know that Mississippi relaxed all of the mask mandates recently. Even though the mandates were relaxed, there are still recommendations that we still social distance, we still wear our mask, and we continue with hand washing. If you have a condition that weakens your immune system, such as lupus or HIV or AIDS or cancer, you may not be fully protected even if you are fully vaccinated, simply because of the illness has weakened your immune system anyway. So you will always have that weakness there, and that will always put you at greater risk to not only contract COVID, but any other illness as well. And for those that are traveling, we know that the airports are filling fast. People are traveling, going to beaches, people are going on cruises, people are going out of the country. There are some mandates in place for that as well. If you are traveling within the United States or its territories, such as Hawaii, you do not have to have a COVID test, and no vaccination is required currently. However, if you plan to travel internationally, meaning if you're going to Mexico, Jamaica, if you're going any of those places, you need to make sure that you check with your destination in that country to see what their protocols are. Some of them require that you have a negative test to enter into their country, and the United States does require that if you are entering into the United States from another country, that you must have a negative COVID test to return. So that could delay your return trip home. So I would suggest that you take every precaution to put backup methods in place as far as work, finances, child care, elderly care, just in case something happens and you're having to wait on the test, because test result times for COVID varies in different places. And the last thing that I wanted to share is the quarantine and exposure. According to the CDC, those that are fully vaccinated do not have to test or quarantine after being exposed to COVID unless you become symptomatic. That does not mean you can't contract it. They're just saying if you've been exposed to a person that has COVID, if you are not showing any symptoms, then you do not have to be tested and you do not have to quarantine.
Okay. Would you like to add to that, Ms. Alicia?
I would like to add, although, like you mentioned, the CDC, the government, they've released the mask mandates. Here at Freedom Rock, we will continue to wear our mask. We're using wisdom, what God has given us, but we use wisdom. We will continue to wear our mask and practice social distancing. So that's something that we will do in-house here. Even though other organizations, other businesses may not require you to wear that mask, we still will wear the mask here at Freedom Rock.
Like she said, I just want to reiterate with the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, like the difference between it's 3 vaccines, the Moderna, the Pfizer, and then the Johnson & Johnson. The Johnson & Johnson Johnson & Johnson vaccine has been placed on hold due to some causes of severe blood clots that was found in some of the participants in the research studies. So we more so want to cover but it was a one-shot and done vaccine that they had come up with. But with the Moderna and the Pfizer, both of them have been, according to the data and the research, they have both been 95% effective. And they both, like she stated, are 2 doses. With those doses, we do want to make sure that you know, once you get your first dose, it is very important that you schedule your second dose 28 days apart from that first dose to make sure that it gives your body time to rest, it gives your immune system time to react and then submit to react again once you get that second dose. And it's also, just to throw a fact out there, 1 in 20 people vaccinated could actually contract COVID if exposed to the virus.
Loretta, I wanted to add about the vaccination. So some people will go and get their first dose, and for whatever reason, they don't make it back to get their second dose. So according to the CDC, even if you did not go back to get your second dose within the 28 days, you still need to have the second dose done. Right now, they're not stating that you have to start over, but they are recommending that regardless of when you got the first dose, it's very important that you go back to get your second dose and have those documented.
Okay, that's good to know. And also we've had some that have had COVID, diagnosed with COVID, and they were able to qualify for the, some are calling it the miracle drug, the remdesivir. It's we say antibiotic, but it's a IV treatment infusion that you're able to get, and it's to help to shortening your time of having severe reaction or side effects of COVID. But it is important to know with that if you have been diagnosed with COVID and you take the remdesivir IV infusion, it is very important to know that you cannot take the COVID vaccine within 90 days of getting that that treatment, due to, like I said, how your body responds to viruses and antibiotics and things of that nature. You don't want to overload your immune system, because it has been shown even too much of a good thing can still harm you. You can get overdoses on things such as simple as water, or things of vitamin C overdose. There are regulations and limits of these things, of how much you should drink or eat or allow into your body to be effective but not to harm you. At this point, I guess we'll discover some of the COVID facts, the freedom facts, Freedom Rock facts of what we have so far. We are at a very good place as far as our body being vaccinated. We strongly consider you to be vaccinated, but you know, and that's looking at a standpoint of right now of where we are in the phase that we're in of opening up, as that's pretty much our leaders, and we have a select few of open seats that we're allowing registration for. But we as a body are looking at the whole picture. We want to make sure that the whole body of freedom is vaccinated and educated to be able to move forward to the next phase. That'll help us to be one step closer to be able to fully open up. Of course, we're probably not near the norm of what we are used to, but you know, at some point we kind of develop a new norm, but you have to adapt to change and adapt to things the best way that you can. But in order for us to be able to do this, you know, we need your help. As you feel led to register for Sunday services, we need you to make sure that you fill out your surveys. Did you hear me? please, 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 please fill out your surveys. Make sure that the church office has your email address. I think on the registration, it has a spot to put your email address. Those emails will be sent out by the office during that week after you register on that Monday. Make sure we've tried to simplify it the best that we can to make it as simple as possible, to make it a little more convenient, less time consuming to fill it out. We've heard your concerns about it and attempted to fix it. But just make sure that you fill those out, because this allows us to be able to keep account in a percentage that of who, or not really who, but a percentage of how many have been vaccinated, to make sure that we are able, within compliance, and are able to provide a safe environment for the church body. We would love for our whole body to be at 60 to 80% vaccinated, to be able to have a safe, full return back. Right now, we're a little below that number. But as we start getting surveys in and taking a note of people that are being vaccinated and all, then we'll be able to boost those numbers up.
And the survey helps expedite you being seated on Sunday.
Yes.
We have a protocol at the door. We have to check temperatures. We have to make sure that everyone sanitizes. But if you did not complete the survey in a timely manner, then you will have to do it at the door. So.
And that takes time. We want to get you in, seated as fast as possible. Yes. No lines to have to wait and all of that. And this just helps that process to be a lot easier for us, like she said. Some other little tidbits that we have, safety tips, as I would say. A lot of people are going out making or going out buying cloth masks. Of course, it's your preference of what type of mask you would like to wear. We just ask that you wear a mask or a face covering. But with that, make sure that you're washing those masks. Make sure that you're getting something that's cloth, cotton, polyester, just something that's machine washable, to be able to make sure that you're not introducing yourself to even more bacteria, because there's more out there than COVID, and things float in the air, just regular old bacteria and things like that. And if you're not cleaning those properly, you can introduce those things unawarely to your immune system and to your respiratory system. But we recommend once a week washing them and putting them in the dryer. You can, with the regular cotton mask, you can daily daily put them in the dryer on high heat for 10 to 15 minutes, just to kind of sanitize them from all of what you've come in contact and might have encountered for that day. Also, the correct way of wearing the ear loop mask. It shouldn't be below your chin. It shouldn't be below your nose. It should be around your ears, safely secured to your cheeks, and cover your nose and your mouth. And even with the N95 mask, if you wanted to still wear those in high traffic areas, make sure that it's snug to your face, that the ear nose piece is secured. It has 2 straps on it. The strap at the top really goes over your head to the bottom. The strap at the bottom goes over your head to the top. So it makes like a X figure in the back of your head. Just some of those. Also, for our other workers, or the ones that would like to go even farther, they have laundry sanitizer. The local grocery stores sell them, Walmart, CVS, different places,
Lysol has
Walgreens.
some.
Using regular spray Lysol, or they have Lysol sanitizer, and you use it kind of not in replacement of fabric softener, but you could use it along with like your fabric softener. And Clorox also has a laundry sanitizer, as well. Some have even went as far as to buy the little UV boxes. I've seen some of those. They make them big enough for your cell phone, for your keys, or small enough just to fit a phone in. But just to sanitize those surfaces, just to be more aware of germs and things of that nature. And also for your N95 mask, if they're not soiled, you can wear them up to 30 days. And when you store them, they can also be put in the dryer for 10 to 15 minutes, but to help to sanitize them. But when you store them, you want to store them in a cool, dry place. You don't want them to get wet. If they get wet, it damages the material that is able to filter particles that is in the mask. And also, do not store them in plastic bags. Plastic bags tend to sweat, and that creates moisture, and it could damage the material that is in the mask. Let's see. Is there anything else that you guys would like to add or talk about?
I would like to add, just to let people know to don't be afraid to get the vaccine. For God has not given us a spirit of fear. I mean, you hear people talking about how it makes you feel. I even went through some various side effects, and that's natural, but do not be afraid to get the vaccine. It's something that I recommend, being a healthcare provider, that people should get. My parents, my family members have all been vaccinated, so I would say, get the vaccine.
Okay. Ms. Lysandra, anything?
I just wanted to go back and strongly encourage people to wear the mask, particularly if you are with people that you are unsure have been vaccinated previously. Loretta spoke earlier about it being spread through droplets, but the droplet transmission is not limited to coughing and sneezing. Even when we speak or we talk, we're still expelling droplets from our mouth. So I just wanted to reiterate the use of masks, particularly when you're going to grocery stores and games or things like that.
Okay. And we are calling this we are spirit-led. We are calling this spirit-led church. We are calling this a passing pandemic, but we are not out of the woods yet, as you would say. So just still taking those precautions, being aware of your surroundings, being aware of how diseases are spread, and all of that nature can only help, you to be able to protect yourself and to protect your family as well. As a ending, I guess we would like to just say thank you, in a sense, to Freedom for allowing us to be able to do this and trusting your safety and medical advice to come from us. Also to say thank you for medical professionals. For we do have a nursing guild, but we know that that's not the only medical professionals that we have in our body. But just to say thank you for the sacrifices that you've made. And for the ones that have been on the front line that have had to, deal with this on a daily basis and work in this atmosphere. We know that it's been challenging. We know that it's been, really just challenging during this time, and that we appreciate your service.
Thank you.
And thank you.